Hey folks, we're going to do our first Margie Reacts video. Margie reacts to New York Post and the New York Times are at two separate ends of the newspaper spectrum. So the New York Post is like a tabloid and the New York Times is a normal, regular newspaper. So I was getting ready to just flip my shit on this New York Post article about keto diets may be linked to high risk of heart disease in a new study. I don't know if this is going to catch wind or get picked up anywhere else, or if someone like me is going to read this and think this is a legitimate news article and then maybe not figure out that it's like a tabloid situation. And then their health could be impaired because of that. I guess I'm going to do a screen recording anyway because I want to. I got to try to learn how to do this though. And then we're going to talk about this article. So I'm going to talk about, ooh, how do I do that? Shit. Keto diets may be linked to high risk of heart disease in a new study. This is a New York Post article that came out March 6th, 2023. So here's a gorgeous image of a plate full of excellent food. Proper human diet right here. Meats, whole foods, meats, eggs, looks like some chicken, some bacon, and some greens. Perfect. That is a perfect plate of food. And then there's a guy clutching his heart like he's having a heart attack. Okay, let's just look at this article. Diet similar to the popular keto diet may be linked to a higher risk of heart disease, new research has found. The study, which has not been peer-reviewed, was presented Sunday at the blah, 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 blah. It has not been peer-reviewed. So that literally to me, that just means like, okay, well, that's just somebody saying what they think, which is how we got into this fucking mess to begin with. Here, Ansel Keys, and here, Big Sugar. The thing is the diets may be linked. They're saying that the diets may be linked. The keto low-carb diet may be linked to increased risk for heart disease. The thing is that people who typically have realized that they have heart disease or have been diagnosed with heart disease or metabolic disease, we turn to, because I'm one of them, we turn to the keto low-carb diet to reclaim our health. It's not the other way around. So is this a chicken or the egg thing? Okay? The data from this study, of course, they don't show the freaking study, so I can't dig deep into that. They just show a report on it. The data from this study comes from the UK Biobank, and it is people that they followed for 10 years. It doesn't say who they followed. It doesn't say the parameters of the type of person that they were looking at. And if they're going to follow somebody for 10 years, it's typically going to be, and I believe it even says in the report, that the people had to fill out a questionnaire on their diet and then they were given blood, taken a blood draw. A questionnaire. But do most people remember what they ate for a year or however long prior to this questionnaire? I can't even remember what I made yesterday or what I ate yesterday. No, I can't because it was really good. It was bourbon chicken. It was a keto bourbon chicken. It was fantastic. Maria Emmerich's. I should put the link. I'm going to put the link in the show notes in case you guys want to try it because it's actually pretty easy and very good. All right, what else? This paragraph right here, this comes as approximately 1 in 5 Americans report on being on a low-carb, keto-like, or full keto diet. What does that say to me? That says to me that somebody's profit margins are being impacted and they are going into defense mode. This study is not a randomized controlled study. The link is an association. That does not mean it's a causation. That just means it's bullshit. And I've heard that the keto diet has been one of the most, not one of, It is the most studied and documented diet of all the diets, and eating styles. Oh my God, they say the standard diet has more balanced eating habits. Fuck all the way off with that. Oh my God. Okay, I can't even handle this. And I don't remember if I said this or not. I think I did. This study has not been peer reviewed, so whatever. Although I don't even trust that shit anymore either. Because a human being reviews a study for a medical journal or whatever, they still can be biased. And they still can be biased by whoever's paying them, or from what I understand, the more often you publish a paper, the higher up your paper kind of ranks. It's almost like a YouTube ranking thing. I don't know how to explain that properly, but the more often you're published, the more credible you appear to be, whether you are or you aren't. Also, too, this report and this article does not state the funding sources, who requested this study, who's backing this study, where the money's coming from this study, because we can't see the actual study. I want to see the study. And I know that study is going to be like 100 pages long, but I want to see the study. And the reason I want to see the study is because I want to follow the money. Typically, interested industries are the ones funding these studies. And here's the thing. If they can have an idea for a study, a theory for a study, and they can fund it, and if the results of the study don't turn out the way they expected them to, then they can just make that study go away. They don't have to publish it. They should always have to publish it. Because especially if their findings don't support their mission, we're being misled because we don't know how that study turned out. If the food industry, Big Sugar or Kellogg's or the grain industry or whatever, if they're trying to prove that their products are not harmful, and they do a study on that, and then the study shows that, oh shit, this isn't really looking so good for you guys, they can just be like, okay, cool, we're just gonna get rid of that. This study never happened. We never get to know about it. The study can be interpreted or confused on purpose to make it look like there's no negative impact of these foods that we're eating. That shit happens all the time. Case in point, which I will also put in the I'll put in the show notes, a link to this in the show notes. But like 50 years ago, the Harvard Medical teams did a study on sugar, and the results showed that sugar was detrimental to our health. And the sugar industry paid off these researchers to kind of quietly hide the data that supported their findings, and kind of hush, poo-poo the whole thing, and sugar's not as bad as what we think, and it's not a direct link to heart disease and all that stuff. And then when these papers, this data, this research was discovered, I think in the basement of one of the researchers that had passed away, there was this tiny ass little news blurb about it, and I remember it too, and I'm like, oh my God, because I'm watching it on TV, and I'm like, oh my God, this is huge. And then it was just very quietly talked about and just very quietly went away. Now think about why that is. This research was published to medical journals and taken as gospel for decades. God, this shit pisses me off. TV news is reporting this information. Who are the highest paying advertisers on TV? Big Pharma and processed food. There's no way that they are going to let the news talk about the dangers of their products and their profits. So they're definitely going to find a way to like be like, you guys need to squash that shit. We can't have that. You literally just cannot trust anything. These TV networks cannot risk losing their highest paying advertisers. In my opinion, this study, if it's even real, and the study on erythritol, both are popping up because this lifestyle, this is a grassroots effort. These people are learning and discovering, doing their own N=1 experiment, just like I did, how much better they feel and how they've turned their health around, including their labs. And this is a direct threat to these industries' profits. Heart disease is a leading cause of death for both men and women in the United States, according to the CDC. That's true. That's true. And trust and believe that that shit's coming from eating processed foods. The keto diet, which counts Gwyneth Paltrow, Halle Berry, and Kim Kardashian as celebrity devotees, has also been found to be one of the worst for the environment. You don't think factory farming and monocultures are bad for the environment? That's the shit that is fucking up our environment. Oh my God. Regenerative farming, did I say that right? Regenerative farming is good for the environment. The cows are outside. They're eating the grass. They're making fertilizer that's going back into the ground, that's growing our food. Nice, complete circle. Nice, complete loop. The article here is, while these fad diets may entice those trying to lose weight fast, experts warn that they are not sufficient long-term solutions. Losing weight may seem like a daunting task, but in reality, it doesn't have to be, said Courtney McCormick, a corporate dietitian at Nutrisystem. The best way to conquer your weight loss goals and overcome challenges is to find an affordable program. See, it's always about money and it's always about profits, because you don't need a fucking program or a fucking app to lose weight and get healthy. You need to eat a proper human diet. That's it. Real whole foods. No sugar, no grains. Easy peasy. The best way to conquer your weight loss goals and overcome challenges is to find an affordable program that will help you every step of the way by providing things like real-time support, an intuitive app, and meals that are portion controlled but protein packed to help you stay fuller longer. Okay, I'm down with the protein part. I'm definitely down with the protein pack and do it. Hell yeah. But you don't need to buy that shit through Nutrisystem and pay for their programs and stuff. Or Jenny Craig, or Noom, or Weight Watchers, or any of that shit. Okay, there are some people that really truly need that kind of control, or that kind of accountability, or whatever that shit provides. That's cool. If you choose to do that, that's fine. But you don't have to do that to lose weight and get healthy. You just need to eat real whole foods. Eat real whole foods. Single ingredient foods that you look at and this is a steak. This is leafy greens. This is a green pepper. This is a cucumber. This is cauliflower. This is broccoli. This is asparagus. Single ingredient items. These are eggs. This is cheese. If you can tolerate dairy, knock yourself out. Ditch the shitty seed oils. And by that I mean vegetable oil, which is not vegetable oil. It comes from seeds. Canola oil, corn oil, those are bad. Do not eat those. You're going to want to use animal fats, bacon grease, beef tallow, duck fat, that kind of stuff. Or avocado oil, extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil is a good option too. You will never go wrong by eating real whole foods. It's as simple as that. Single ingredient, unprocessed foods. Okay, well, I freaked out on all this because I thought I saw a New York Times post, and I was like, I cannot believe that the New York Times would post some bullshit like this. And then upon further inspection, which is why I always say do your research, it is the New York Post, which is literally a tabloid newspaper. So I might as well be reading this out of the National Enquirer. I don't even know if I'm going to post this video now.